You have power over your mind, not over events. Understand this and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Silence. The first ray of light touches Daniel's face. But the real awakening began a long time ago. Before he even opened his eyes, his mind was already at war. Between fear and faith, between what if it goes wrong and God is with me. We all wake up like this, even if we don't realize it. The battle begins. Before coffee, before the news, before the mirror. It's the moment when the world tries to steal your center and God tries to give it back. Daniel is not a monk. He's an ordinary man. Work, bills, social media, endless distractions. But on that day, something changes. He wakes up tired, even after sleeping. Look at the ceiling and think, why am I agreeing to this weight if nothing bad has happened yet? And then, for the first time, he realizes the mind awakens before the body. The Apostle Paul wrote, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind," Romans 12:2. The Stoic would call this hegemonikon, the inner strength of reason. A Christian would call it temple of faith. They both talk about the same thing. The mind is the altar where the soul begins its day. Daniel decides to try something new. Instead of getting up and running, he lies down for a moment, breathe, and observe the first thoughts that arise: fear, worry, comparison. But among them, there is a whisper, "I'm with you." He understands that it's not just his mind that speaks when he wakes up. There are ancient voices, memories, noises of the world, but there is also the voice of faith, which speaks more softly and more deeply. And here's an invitation for you, the listener. If this makes sense to you, sign up and walk with us. But today, there's something more, a gift that will help you put this into practice. Open your now free divine journal. Take a pen and the divine journal and write a painful fact. My opinion is God will do good. This is the exercise I prepared for you. Simple, yet profound. He combines what Marcus Aurelius called examining judgments with what Jesus called laying down the burden. And if you want the free divine journal with daily guides and reflections, just leave a comment below, "I want." That way, you receive it immediately. While Daniel is writing down his thoughts, something changes. He's not trying to be positive. He is training his soul, transforming concern into presence, fear in faith. Every morning, before getting out of bed, he writes, "I won't control the day today, but I can control my heart in the face of it." And that simple phrase saves him from dozens of invisible falls, because the world tries to mold you from the outside in, but God works from the inside out. And that is what Stoicism and faith have in common. They both believe that true mastery begins when you master what you think and deliver what you feel. If this resonated with you, know that thousands are on this same journey. The video continues, and at the turning point in Daniel's story, we'll open the journal again to write about what happens when faith overcomes the noise of the mind. The alarm rings again, but this time, something is different. Daniel tries to repeat the ritual, but the mind is already awake in chaos. Notifications, concerns, old guilts, plans that didn't work out. He tries to breathe, he tries to pray, but his mind is yelling. And he realizes the real challenge isn't waking up early, it's waking up present. Marcus Aurelius wrote something that seems to have been written for this moment. A man's life is what his thoughts make of it. Daniel remembers this, but the problem is that his thoughts don't seem to be his own. These are programmed noises, news, comparisons, demands, anxiety. And this is where Christianity comes in, where Stoicism leaves off, because the mind can discipline itself, but only God can purify it. He stands up, faces the mirror, and whispers, "Lord, reprogram what the world has contaminated." At that moment, something in Daniel changes. He understands that mastering the mind is not a war against the world, but one alliance with heaven. The Stoic seeks serenity through reason. The Christian receives it by grace. And when the two meet, the perfect balance emerges between self-control and surrender. Daniel takes his divine journal again. Open a new page and type, "The painful fact is, I'm feeling empty. My opinion, I am not defined by what I feel. God will do good. He will transform this emptiness into focus and peace." This is the moment when theory becomes practice. The pen becomes a sword. Paper becomes an altar. He understands that each written thought is an invisible thread being disconnected from anxiety and reconnected to faith. And here's the invitation for you, the listener. If you want to experience this in practice, open yours now free, Divine Journal. This is the gift I prepared for you, the same exercise Daniel is doing right now. Enough said, I want, click here below, and you'll receive it immediately. In it, you will find space to transform scattered thoughts into conscious prayers. It's not just a diary, it is a spiritual reprogramming tool. While Daniel is writing, something unexpected happens. The mind begins to calm down. The thoughts still come, but they lose their power. It's as if he were observing from the outside what previously dominated him from within. He recalls Jesus in the desert, being tempted in his thoughts, responding with the word. It was there that Christ showed. Mastery lies not in avoiding chaos, but in remaining whole within it. Daniel takes a deep breath. There is no music, there is no visible miracle, but there is a silent miracle happening inside his mind. 3 lessons begin to emerge at that moment. 1. Not every thought is your own. Many are echoes of the world trying to steal your peace. 2. Not all emotions are true. The Stoic observes, the Christian surrenders. 3. Not every battle is meant to be won alone. Sometimes the greatest act of strength is to kneel. Daniel closes the journal. She smiles and says softly, "Today the mind has awakened, but so has the heart." And in this balance between control and confidence, he understands that he is beginning to live what he was looking for. A mind under dominion and a soul under grace. You can experience this too. Subscribe now and comment. I want to receive your free divine journal. Come back with me in the next segment, where Daniel will discover what happens when this ritual is no longer just an exercise, but it's a lifestyle. The sun streams through the window as if it were a reminder. A new day begins. But this time, Daniel wakes up different. There isn't that avalanche of thoughts, not the press, not even fear disguised as productivity. There is silence, a silence that seems more alive than any noise. He gets up, goes to the window and watches the sunrise. And think, how many awakenings have I experienced without truly waking up? The mind is still yet awake. The heart is steadfast yet gentle. He realizes that the world is still the same, the problems, the bills, the messages, but the way it changed. Marcus Aurelius said that the soul becomes the color of its thoughts. Daniel smiles. For so long his soul was gray because he fed his mind with ashes. But now there is color, there is light, there is faith. And he understands what Paul meant in Romans 8:38. Nothing can separate me from the love of God, not even a doubt, not even tiredness, not even the darkest thought. Because now he has learned something that Stoicism teaches and faith confirms. You don't control the world, but you can choose where to place your mind and who to place at its center. Daniel sits down, opens the divine journal and writes, "A painful fact, the world is chaotic. My opinion, I am not chaos. God will do good. He will transform chaos into purpose." He looks at those lines and feels something he hasn't felt in a long time, clarity. Each word seems to align what is inside with what is above. Stoicism helped him to see thoughts. Faith taught him to deliver them. And there, between pen and prayer, Daniel understands that waking up is not the end of sleep. It is the beginning of consciousness. The coffee is ready. The cell phone vibrates. There are deadlines, demands, and noise, as there always have been. But today, Daniel is not reactive. It's intentional. He remembers the prayer he wrote at the beginning of the ritual. Today, I will not react. Today, I will respond with wisdom. And that simple choice changes everything. He responds to his boss's message calmly. He embraces his wife slowly. Leave home without carrying the weight of the future, because now he understands that the day's dominion begins before for the day to begin. It is there, in the mind and soul, where everything is shaped. On the way to work, the thought comes, what if all of this is just a phase? But then another thought responds, what if this is the beginning of your real life? He smiles, because now you know how to distinguish what is voice of the mind and what is voice of faith. The mind questions. Faith answers. The mind is afraid. Faith trusts. The mind analyzes. Faith gives. And the balance between the two is what makes a man complete. And now it's your turn. During the next 24 hours practice, the same conscious awakening that Daniel experienced. 1. Be silent before acting. When you wake up, don't pick up your cell phone, just breathe. Observe your thoughts without clinging to them. 2. Open your divine journal. Write the 3 sentences. A painful fact. My opinion is, God will do good. This is not just an exercise, it's your daily spiritual training. 3. Pray before you decide. Don't ask for control. Ask for direction. Allow God to reprogram what anxiety tries to distort. You might be wondering, but does this really change anything? Try. Because, as Epictetus said, it's not what happens that disturbs you, but the judgment you make about what happens. And as Jesus said, you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. John 8:32. The Stoic observes the judgment. The Christian is set free by the truth. And together, the two build the strongest mind that exists, she who bows before God and therefore never breaks before the world. If this touched you, subscribe now and comment. I want to receive your free divine journal. In it, you will find guides, prayers, and reflections that will transform each morning into an encounter with God and with yourself. If this video made sense, activate the notification bell. Share and become a part of this community that awakens from the inside out, where Stoicism prepares and faith transforms. Daniel closes the journal. She looks towards the horizon and whispers, "Today, I woke up before I opened my eyes. The sun rises, the world begins its usual noisy routine. But inside, in the temple of the mind and on the altar of the soul, silence reigns. A silence that only exists where there is dominion and grace." Stoicism teaches how to control the mind. Faith teaches us to trust our hearts. When the two come together, you stop just waking up. And it begins, in fact, to wake up.